Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Let's Lead. In today's problem, we will be talking about the problem of merge intervals. So let's go ahead and talk about this problem. This particular problem is pretty much simple. We have been given an array of intervals where interval at a position I is a list of start and end, and we need to merge all overlapping intervals and return an array of non-overlapping intervals that covers all the inputs in the interval list. Okay, so what do I mean by that is, let's before I go ahead, let's try to visualize this. Let us take this example, the first example, 1 3, okay, then 2 6, okay, then 8 10, okay, and then 15 to 18. Okay, so to visualize this, let me draw an axis. Let's say 1 1 2 and 18. Okay, so let's say this is the range timeline which I have created. Now if I plot this range on this timeline, for example, so 1 2 3, range starting from 1 2 3, okay, then the range is starting from 2 to 6, okay, then the range is starting from 8 to 10, okay, then the range is from 15 to 18. Now what are the overlapping intervals here? So if I talk about the overlapping intervals, one interval I could find overlapping is this one, and rest all are independent, they are not overlapping. So now my answer would be from 1 to 6, that is 1 to 6, then 8 to 10, and then 15 to 18, and this is what has been returned. Okay, so this is how I need to do it. So how would we approach this? Would we approach this problem? First thing to keep in mind here is the list here would not be may and may not be in the sorted fashion. So to approach this problem, we need to make sure the list is sorted. If I take this list only, okay, if I take this list only, for example, I see that it has been sorted. Let me take another example. Let's say 1 4, okay, 2 5, 6 9, and let's say 3 7, for example. Okay, now the first thing to do here is to sort the list using the first element of each sub list. Okay, so I need to make sure that I sort the list from each element or first element of each sub list. So how can I do it? I will just sort it based on that value: 1 4 2 5 3 7, okay, and then 6 9. Once I am done with this, now I can go ahead and start merging. How do I start merge basically? So if I see that, okay, if the element of the successing if the just let me do one thing. I'll take this example itself, okay, since this is in sorted fashion. So what do I need to check? I need to check if the first element of any sub list is less than or equal to, also just before we move ahead, the equal to case is also overlapping case. If you can see in the example here, 1 4 and 4 5, it comes out to be 1 5. So this is considered an equal case, is also considered as overlapping. So what do we need to check? We need to check for any list at n position, okay, for any range at position n, for the n minus position 1 list, okay, the range, the first element of position L element, if it is less than or equal to the last element of position n minus 1 list, then that means overlapping. They are overlapping. Now since they are overlapping, how can I condense them? To condense them, I can write the first element of the n minus 1 range and the maximum from the last element of both the ranges. Okay, the maximum from last element of both the ranges, from 3 and 6, what is the maximum? 6. Okay, and then 8 and 10, and then 15 and 18, since it is not overlapping, so I can write this. Why did I say about choosing the max from this? Why? Because here one would say that we can directly pick up the last element from the the range present at position n. See, that would give me error in case of situation, let's say I have 1,6 and 2,3. Okay, if I need to condense this, I see that 2 is less than 6, that means that they are in the same range. But if I say that I pick up the last element directly and put it here, okay, of the nth position range, this will be a wrong supposition. This is not the right range. So we need to make sure that we pick up the first element from the first range, n minus 1 range, and the maximum from the the two ranges into consideration. So 6 and 3, 6 will be the maximum. Okay, this is how we will be approaching this problem. Let's go ahead and talk about its implementation. So talking about its implementation, it is fairly simple. What we can do is we have intervals, okay, dot, first we sort it. And how do we sort it? Based on which keys? Lambda, the key at index 0 of each sublist. Okay, based on that we will sort it, and then okay, so this is my output list, which will have the answer. Okay, so just to avoid the edge case, I will start off by placing the first element directly from the sorted array, okay, so that we don't encounter any edge case, and then we can start off the comparison. So for start comma end in intervals, since we already have taken the 0th index element, we can start off directly from 1. Okay, last, so what we are doing here is we are taking the last element. For example, if this is the array, for example, if this is the, let's take this example into consideration. What we are doing is for the answer array, we sorted this and we took this into the output array. Okay, output would be, since we placed it directly. Okay, so this is how my output will start. Now I start iterating from here directly. Okay, now since I'm picking both the start and end values, start will be 2, end will be 6. Okay, and this last end variable, what it will store is, it will store this value, the output list. It will pick up the last element from that, this one. For example, right now it's only this, so it will pick up this one, and it will pick the first index value, that will be 3. Okay, This is taken just to check if it is smaller or equal to that, so that we can find out that if it is in range or not. Okay, if start is less than equal to last end. Okay, output -1, 1. We can directly update the output. We will update this value to the maximum of this value or this value. Okay, so that could be how we can do it. Max of, since we have the last end variable, I will put it here, and the end variable. Okay, if not, if this condition is not satisfied, I can directly put the array as such. No need to make any changes. Output dot append start comma end. Okay, and in the end, once all of this is done, return output. Okay, so let's go ahead and submit this. So yeah, this was the implementation. Thank you so much, and I'll be back with another episode.